Hi guys, welcome back to the garden. It's March here in Dubai and the weather has started to heat up. It actually rained a little bit this morning, so it's a bit overcast, it's a bit humid. I've been at yoga and I'm home, and instead of going to the supermarket today, I'm going to go around my yard and harvest some veg from the garden. For those of you who are not familiar with my garden, I have a small townhouse in Dubai, and I have some raised bed gardens as well as some different pots. For those of you who are familiar, welcome back. I'm glad to have you here again with me. Before we start harvesting, I just thought I'd give you a bit of an overview of the garden and what's happening. Some of it's a bit overgrown, some of it's a bit diseased, but we've got lots of food that we can still harvest and eat lots of our homegrown produce. During some of the recent rain we've had in Dubai, my tomatoes became very overgrown. They fell over. I've tried to re-trellis them, and some of them have got a bit diseased, but we still have plenty of fruit, even though the birds have been attacking some here. So we'll start with the tomatoes, and I'm sure we're going to get a lovely harvest. I have a few different varieties. This yellow one here is called pineapple, and we also have in here pink ox heart. I don't know if you can see that one, it's quite a big one. We'll pick that in a minute. And we have some cherry tomatoes, so just some red cherry tomatoes there. And we also have another variety over here, which is large barred boar. Another cherry tomato growing over here, and as you can see, this has just gone absolutely wild. During the storms, the trellis actually fell over, so we've just sort of pushed that back up, but it's definitely weighing this down, so I'm not sure how much longer it's going to last, but until then we'll be eating plenty of cherry tomatoes. I haven't even finished picking off just this one plant, and look how many we've got already. Already just off this one pineapple tomato plant, we've got about 20 tomatoes. There's a couple with a bit of bug damage, and some of them have actually split. So this is caused by the rain that we've had recently in Dubai. They grow really quickly and the skin split, but this is still absolutely edible. So first tomato plant, and already a huge harvest. There's still a few more on here, which I'm going to grab, and I will leave the ones that are partially ripe to keep on growing. See, here's an example of one that's split. Okay, so I've picked these tomatoes. I haven't even started on this big crazy plant here, but I want to pick some other things, so I'm going to get started with some beetroots. And look at the size of that. This has got to be the biggest beetroot I've ever managed to grow. This is super cool. Look at the size of that. It's massive. These golden beetroots are absolutely delicious. I'm going to be roasting these again and putting them in salad. So good. So I'm going to get a couple of these. Another one here. It's a bit smaller, but still really good. Maybe we'll get one more. There's some little baby ones in here, so we'll leave those to keep on growing. Now that we're freeing up some space, they will do a lot better. Get more nutrients from the soil. They'll get more sunlight, and they will get, hopefully, as big as these beauties. Right here next to the beetroots we have this green, which is really delicious. It's called Chimicelli. I think I'm saying it wrong, but anyway. And we love eating this in just sauteed with some garlic and butter, or I'm actually going to get some of this in a couple of days and make a ricotta and spinach essentially pie with that. So that'll be really tasty. I've also got some dill. Some of it started to go to flower because the weather started to warm up, but that's still fine. More dill over here and in other places of the garden, and I do try and interplant with different flowers. So we've got some flowers here too. Some more dill. This is even more developed with the flowers, so I can continue to collect seed from that, which is fantastic. And it's covering up a few carrots. I managed to get a couple of carrots to germinate this year, not so much. And some Swiss chard. In the back here we have this huge basil plant. This is a couple of years old and we've made so many batches of pesto from this. Whenever people come over, we always harvest it right back, and people are so amazed how much basil you can get from one plant. So that's super cool. And then up this trellis we have some Chinese red noodle beans, and these guys are just so long. They're about the length of my arm. When you cook them, they do go green if you cook them a lot, but we just try and maybe blanch them so that they keep their really cool red color. So we're going to harvest some of those. I have some okra plants that were very big and very healthy before, and this one's completely died, so I need to chop him off. These two got covered with the tomato plants when they fell down, but they have somehow managed to recover. So we've got a few pods of okra to harvest today, so we'll grab those as well, and we'll just include those in a simple meal. I should probably pull these guys out and make some new start some new seeds, and I will do that, but well, I'm still getting a bit of a harvest. I'm not sure if I will. I've planted a few peppers in here, and I would really love the peppers to take off for the spring season, so I can get some peppers. So maybe I won't plant some okra. What do you think? Just for okra today. So we'll add those to our basket. I have this huge zucchini plant here, which is flowering, and it goes all the way down in here in between the beds. So I've just let that go absolutely wild. I'm not really getting any zucchini. I got, I think, 2 tiny baby ones, but hopefully we will get something from that. This is something I'm super excited about. I've grown this last year and got some flowers. This is a chamomile that's just started to flower, and a really nice sign for this, if you can see it, is there is a lady beetle. Oh, here it is. I'll get it for you. Where's the lady beetle? I don't know if you can see it. It keeps on hiding. There it is. Lovely little lady beetle, which is a wonderful sign that your garden is organic. We have some pat choy here, so we've been eating these greens. It's all dusty from the rain, and the young stems, we've been eating these as well, like broccoli. At some point I will just let these continue to flower and collect the seed again. We also have some shallots here. They were store-bought shallots that started to grow, so I just popped a few of them in the ground there, and they've done really well. Also got some pepper plants in between here. So one's this pat choy and this one on this side. So this one is pat choy and this one is bok choy. Similar, but this is also going really well. So we're going to be harvesting some of that. Here we have tomatillo. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with tomatillo, but they grow these really cool fruits in these husks like this, and they will eventually kind of split the husk, and that's how you know when it's ready to be harvested. Top tip for growing tomatillos: you need to have at least 2 plants to get them to pollinate and produce fruit. So this one's got so many flowers on it, which is very cool. I've got another one over here, and I also have a couple of pots over here which have more as well. So we've got really good harvest of tomatillos coming on. These ones, you can feel the fruit inside now, so eventually they will fill up, but when they're just developing, these husks are empty, and then the fruit grows inside, which is super cool. Some more Chimicelli, some more zinnia, dill, more of that, some chili in here. These guys have just started to ripen, so that's cool. I'm hoping to make some chili jam, even some tomato jam. I've got this yellow cherry here, which is putting on a lot of fruit. This plant got really damaged during the rain, but we're still getting lots and lots of fruit. So I need to give it some love. Look, some dead branches, but still ripe fruit. I haven't even made a dent in this, and we've got a big bowl of bok choy. Across from our bok choy we have some kale, looking lovely. Seems the bugs like to have a nibble too, but that's completely okay. Some new seed starts. And this is what I'm so excited to show you. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with kohlrabi. I understand this is in the same family as like broccoli and cauliflower. It's a brassica. And this is my first ever kohlrabi to harvest. And they're a strange looking plant. Big bulb above the ground. They kind of remind me of aliens. Look at that. That's so cool. Very excited to try this. Now that we've harvested that big kohlrabi, these other three that are here should get a bit more sunlight, a bit more nutrients, and finish growing to a decent size as well. So that's really cool. And then this very sick looking pumpkin that we have growing up here. So these are all going a bit yucky, but we do have a nice big pumpkin that's ready to harvest. So it's turned yellow. They're green when they're unripe, and it's very good to go. And we also have another very sick looking cucumber plant over this side. We did get some amazing cucumbers off this one there, look. Amazing cucumbers off this earlier in the season, but it's got a bit sick, so I'm going to give it a good trim and see if it comes back. This one's gone a bit yellow, that's fine. We do have some new fruit sitting here as well, so hopefully we'll get some new cucumbers. On this far end of this bed we have some Chinese broccoli, which is like a sprouting broccoli. I'm going to harvest a few bits of that. The radish back here, which I've left to go to seed, so hopefully I'll be collecting up some radish seeds at the end of the season. And then I have some little bits and pieces. Another tomato growing here. This one's called chocolate pear. These are cherry tomatoes. Have some little lavender growing here. Some marjoram. Some oregano. We have moringa here in this pot. Pineapple. A lady in our community gave me this pineapple plant. It's putting on new growth, so we'll see how it goes. Some more lavender. Once you have this in your garden, you can just pull off the flowers and it will germinate in different areas. And some rosemary. So it smells lovely out here at the moment with all of these herbs and flowers. Guys, who needs a grocery store when you have a garden like this? What an amazing haul. I have just from today a pumpkin, my first ever kohlrabi. I have Chinese red noodle beans, beetroots, okra, cucumber, dill. And I also have this huge basket of tomatoes just from today. We're getting something like this every day or two when I get out here, and I haven't even started on that second big cherry tomato plant. So there's heaps more to harvest there. And I also have this big bowl of bok choy and pat choy. Super excited, can't wait to get in the kitchen and eat all this amazing produce. I hope you're enjoying your gardening season as much as I am. And until next time, happy gardening.